California Post reacting to that stunning report with this front page cover dubbing Arcadia, quote, Chinatown. Opinion editor at the California Post, Joel Pollack, is with me now. So you saw some of the statements in the plea agreement and the things that she published out there. According to the plea agreement, she acted, quote, at the direction and control of the Chinese Communist Party. This happened before she became mayor. This happened after her fiance, who she'd been working with, had been sentenced to jail, yet she was still elected. What are y'all doing there in California?
Well, this is really striking because if she had simply posted these opinions, they would have been protected by the First Amendment. But she admitted now in this guilty plea to taking instructions from someone directly linked to the Chinese government. And it almost seems clumsy, some of the messages that have come out, thank you, leader, and so forth. But it does tell you the high degree of coordination between the Chinese government and senior public officials in towns across America, and very junior officials, by the way. The penetration of the Chinese Communist Party is not limited to people in Congress, Eric Swalwell and Fang Fang, for example. It's going right down to city council level, very local officials. The purpose appears to be, in this case, propaganda, but there may be other objectives as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at what Alyssa Slotkin said, it might have been yesterday or the day before, about Chinese penetration into the United States market, all of the cars that are now flooding the U.S. market from China. They're cheap. They're very attractive for people to buy because they're very sophisticated. She calls them surveillance machines on wheels. We see what China is doing in terms of AI. They're trying to buy up land close to military bases. I mean, it's insidious what's going on here. And now we see that elected officials are working for the Chinese.
And also, as you mentioned, private industry. You have people inside companies, AI companies, feeding information back to China. And sometimes we do catch them and prosecute them, and many times we do not. And what I think this case shows us is we need to continue digging deeper. And as President Trump leaves for China, as we saw him talking to reporters, that really has to be a question he brings up with Chairman Xi. Why are you doing this? Stop doing it.
Oh, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but it's ruining the relationship between our two countries, which is difficult anyway. But we do still have a productive trade relationship. We are superpowers that need to get along well to run the world. And yet China is continually planting the seeds of some kind of future effort to undermine the United States. It has to be a serious issue that comes up between these two leaders.
Yeah, well, and I imagine it will. Spying on another country is as old as the hills. I went to the Christmas party at the CIA, and they have an amazing museum, by the way, that nobody gets a chance to see because it's inside the CIA. It's got all of the spycraft stuff going back to the 1940s, and it's remarkable the lengths that we went to spy on other countries. So now it's just becoming much more modern. If you can have somebody driving in a car that is spying on them every mile that they go, or you're using an AI model that's spying on you with every keystroke, I mean, that's just spycraft in the modern world.
Well, with the cars especially, they're not just spying on the drivers, but think of it as Google Earth for a Chinese company. So they're going around with cameras and they're getting images of streets. They know the ins and outs of different parts of the United States. It's basically creating a virtual map of our country using these cars and the cameras in these cars to send information back to China.
Yeah, you know, if they were spying on potholes and doing something to remediate those, that'd be one thing. Yeah. I guess they're not. City of Arcadia says, oh, nothing to see here. Everything's cool. They said the allegations at the center of this case that a foreign government sought to exert influence over a local elected official are deeply troubling. We take them serious. However, following an internal review, we can confirm that no city finances, staff, or decision-making processes were involved. Can they be so sure?
Well, you just look at other cities in Southern California that have had similar problems, Lancaster and others, and what comes out of this plea deal is the admission that these Chinese officials were trying to make as many contacts as they possibly could at every level. The higher, the better in the American political system, but they really want as wide a net as they can possibly create to get in touch with as many officials as possible and influence them.
Yeah.
And they do reach out to people who are from China. So this mayor was born in China, emigrated to the United States. But there are other officials as well that the Chinese Communist Party is trying to influence. And so we need to be hyper-vigilant about this.
So you don't think she's the only one?
No, not at all.
All right. Joel, great to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Sandra?